Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Iggy's Bodybuilding Camp. In today's video, I wanted to discuss the age-old debate, Coke versus Diet Coke. Now, I have had this discussion with so many people, friends, family, strangers, and I decided to do this video to cover some of the points, so in the future I can just direct them to this video and say, check it out. Now, let me begin by saying that this is not a medical or professional opinion. This is just my opinion based on the research that I've done, and I'm making an educated decision. So, what do I opt for? Between Coke and Diet Coke, I choose Diet Coke every time. Neither of these two drinks are good for you. They are highly acidic in nature, and that's not good for you in terms of your metabolism. It's not good for you in terms of the chemical density of your bones. It affects your teeth. We know, it's just all round. The acidic nature of Diet Coke and Coke itself isn't good for you. But sometimes there is nothing better than a cold Diet Coke, or Coke if that's what you choose. On a hot day when you're really thirsty and you're looking for something delicious. Now, both the drinks, as I said, are not good for you. So this video is about finding out which is the lesser of the two evils. Diet Coke contains a chemical compound called aspartame, whereas normal Coke doesn't have aspartame, it just has sugar. And a lot of people will say to you, the reason they don't drink Diet Coke is because of aspartame, and because aspartame has been linked with cancer, linked with brain tumours, Alzheimer's, and then the list goes on. But here's a few things. So aspartame is 200 times sweeter than sugar, and it's used instead of sugar by these companies who create diet drinks because it is calorie free. So that's the first thing. Aspartame is calorie free. Aspartame has been officially approved by over 100 food authorities in the UK, in Europe, and in the US. So it is readily used in everything, in all kinds of food. So jellies, sweets, beverages, confectionery, it's in everything. Chewing gum, it is in almost all varieties of food. In fact, you will have consumed aspartame in some way, some shape or some form in your life. I'm going to use a typical can of Coke as an example. So a can of Coke is 330 milliliters. That's going to be the base of my discussion. That's what I'm going to use to compare Coke and Diet Coke. A can of Diet Coke has 180 milligrams of aspartame on average. Now there's obviously 1,000 milligrams in a gram. So it has 180 milligrams of aspartame, which is less than a fifth of a gram. A can of Coke, on the other hand, has 33 grams of sugar. Now, the recommended daily allowance of aspartame, so you shouldn't exceed this amount, is 50 milligrams per kilo of body weight. Now, I weigh 75 kilograms, so for me, I should never consume more than 3.75 grams of aspartame, so just under 4 grams. For me to consume in excess of 3.75 grams, I would have to drink 21 cans of Diet Coke, which I don't think I've ever done and probably never will. Now, a normal can of Coke has 33 grams of sugar. The recommended daily allowance of sugar for an adult is 30 grams. So by having one can of Coke, you've exceeded your daily recommended allowance of sugar. So that's 21 cans for the aspartame and 1 can for the normal Coke. The next point, Diet Coke has 0 calories. Normal Coke has 138 calories. And this is again based on a can. So, bearing all of that in mind, the reason why I simply choose to have Diet Coke is, one, because the amount of aspartame, the chemical, in Diet Coke is so small that your body is more than capable of dealing with that small quantity of chemical. In day-to-day life, you are consuming way more chemicals than that, believe me. In the vegetables that you eat, it's got so many different chemicals, pesticides, insecticides, all these things. In the meat that you eat, it's pumped with hormones, all kinds of chemicals that we're not even aware of. Every crisp or chocolate, whatever you eat, there are chemicals in it all. The E numbers, you'll be hard pushed to find sweets without E numbers in them. So the chemicals are everywhere, and there is no getting away from them. And the small amount of chemical that is in a can of Diet Coke, the very small, and I mean 1/5 of a gram, so you wouldn't even be able to measure that. I couldn't show you the amount of aspartame that goes into a can because it's so small. That for me is the least of my worries when I compare it to the 33 grams of pure sugar that is in a can of Coke. And bear in mind, sugar is one of the, refined sugar I'm talking about here, is one of the biggest causes of things like diabetes, heart disease, potentially linked to cancer as well. I mean, everything's linked to cancer these days. So, you can do your own research. The amount of health problems that are linked to consuming sugar is incredible, obviously along with things like obesity as well. Whereas with aspartame, you can pretty much take any food product and find negative things about them, unless it's something like really, really healthy. But everything has some negative elements to it. And that's it. Just a quick summary. I just wanted to let you know this is my opinion based on the research that I've done and why I choose Diet Coke over Coke every time. That's my opinion. It's what I say to people when they say to me, oh, you shouldn't be drinking Diet Coke. And this is really for those people who go around telling people, don't drink Diet Coke, it's bad for you. For me, normal Coke is worse. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what your views are, what your thoughts are. Drop a comment below, I'd be curious. I recently haven't posted something for just about a week now because I've been very busy, mainly because of the birth of my baby girl. So, busy being a father, looking after her, hospital runs and all of that. But I'll do a video where I cover some of that later on. Keep following the channel, keep living the life, be the best version of yourself that you can be, and I'll see you next time.